Hello, YouTube. Welcome to my channel, Marriage, Politics, and Sports. We're going to talk about the Carlee Russell decision. So today, out of the clear blue, they finally sentenced this chick who commenced to do this hoax in Alabama back in July. And back in July, I put out a video that I thought she should get 6 months to a year in jail. And I feel kind of vindicated that I was right. That she should have got 6 months in jail. And they did sentence her 6 months in jail, but they gave her 1 year probation, which I'm not really happy about. And the reason why I'm not happy, but before we get started, I'll tell you why I'm not happy, is because she should spend some time in jail, even if it's on a weekend or just a few weekends or whatever the hell it is, and then 1 year probation or whatever they wanted to give her. So here's my deal. She still hasn't been uh, asked or requested to, adjudicate fully, you know, on what she did, So I got issues with that, so I really do. She should have been able to, she should have been required to adjudicate what she did, you know, and she hasn't been requested to do that. So I think that's a big mistake. I think she should not have been given the leeway to plead and then get mercy on a court without telling us who she was with, what she was doing, and all that kind of stuff. She should at least have been told to plead the fifth if she was doing some kind of criminal activity. Now, I have a video of her adjudication or her sentencing. She didn't adjudicate shit, but I'm gonna show a video of her sentencing, and anybody who wants to come up, we could chop it up or whatever and talk about it because I'm kind of disappointed. I'm glad she got some kind of punishment. She had to at least stand in front of the congregation and apologize and shit like that. But I don't think it's enough. Not quite enough. I mean, I don't want her to go to jail forever and all this kind of shit. But she should have just been behind bars to hear those damn locks clink, for at least a night or two, and then go on probation and stuff like that. Because what she did was jail worthy, period. I mean, I don't know no other way to say it. Well, anyway, so I'm gonna play the clip, and whoever's here could check out the clip and all that. Hey, Red Planet, I see you. Hey, thanks for stopping by, even for a second. Make a cam up or come up. That's cool. But you're welcome if you do. Uh, I sent this out to a few people. I mean, I know it was short notice. Everybody's busy Saturday night, but I just thought I'd go on now and you know, say my little piece and just get my little live stream chops on. But anyway, without further ado, I'm gonna show the clip, and anybody who comes can see it. But I said, first like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you could be told when I have something going on. Go to my community tab and take my poll, because I have a lot of stuff on my channel. And I just like to see what people think about the mix of different things and different topics I have on my channel. I personally like it, but I'd like to see what other people have to say. Anyway, so here we go with Carlee Russell and, her sentence. And I'm going to play it in full, and I won't have no commentary till the end.
Misdemeanor offense of making a false police report, how do you plead?
Guilty.
And then CC 23-889, as to the misdemeanor offense of making a false police report, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Are you satisfied that your attorneys, Mr. Henry Anthony, Richard Jaffe, and Lucky Milad,
Yes, sir.
are good and competent attorneys and have represented you well?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with the plea agreements in these cases?
Yes, sir.
You're pleading guilty of your own free will?
Yes, sir.
Well, I find that your plea was made knowingly and voluntarily, and based on your plea, I find you guilty. Before sentencing, first, is there anything that the Attorney General's office would like to add?
First of all, this case has always been about respect for law enforcement and respect for this community as a whole. Ms. Russell faked a kidnapping, duped the community, and contrived this situation. We still, Judge, don't know to this day where she was, how she got there, what she was doing, with whom she was doing it with. It is our contention.
Okay, I said I wasn't going to stop it, but I had to. How could this not be part of her sentencing? The fact that she still hasn't been willing or refused to disclose who the hell she was with, what she was doing, all this kind of stuff means either she was doing something illegal, she's trying to protect somebody, but let's just go by something illegal. If she was doing something illegal, she should at least have been forced to plead the fifth on the stand. Now, that should have been somehow, one way, shape, form, or fashion, added into her sentence if she's not going to tell. Now, I don't like extortion, if it's willing, or even if I think it's legal extortion. Like, say, you're going to get 10 years unless you tell me what you're going to do. I think there's some precedence against doing some shit, especially if it's self-incriminating. However, it should have been factored in. How does she get away without telling people the full story, and then she gets just a probationary kind of fucking thing? She should, for that alone, she should have just maybe 3 months before probation, 6 months before probation, whatever. But she should not have been able to keep this secret without somebody saying, listen, you're going to have to pay for something. If you're not going to pay for the truth, and you're not, it's just not well enough to pay for the bills. And let me let you go ahead and see what else she's on the hook for.
That she should get some jail time. I understand that it's a misdemeanor. I do. But because of the effect that it has had on law enforcement as well as on the community, we feel even if it's weekends in jail or nights in jail, that some sort of incarceration is warranted in this case.
Your Honor, I want to genuinely apologize for my actions and the resulting negative impact inflicted onto others. I made a grave mistake while trying to fight through various emotional issues and stress. I am extremely remorseful for the panic, fear, and various range of negative emotions that were experienced across the nation. I want to specifically acknowledge and take accountability for the pain and embarrassment that I inflicted upon my family, my church family, friends, neighbors, community, and all of those who were directly involved in search efforts for me. I also extend my sincerest apologies to the Hoover Police Department and every other law enforcement agency and personnel for the position that I put them in and for the resources used. I absolutely regret my decision, and in hindsight wish that I had cried for help in a totally different manner. My prayer is that I will be extended grace and given the opportunity to redeem who I truly am and restore the positively esteemed character that I have worked so hard to attain for the 25 years of my life prior to this incident. I wholeheartedly can say that I've never had any malicious intent to hurt anyone. And I pray that you will feel my sincerity and that as I prepare to pick up the pieces and go on to restore my life, that you will witness the fruition of grace.
What you did was you wasted a lot of government resources, and you're going to pay for that. We reserve our jails for people who are genuinely a threat to the community. Although we're very upset about what you've done, you're not a threat to the community. I'm not going to treat you any differently than I would treat any other first.
All right, let me stop that. Right there, I have to agree with the judge. I hate the fact that I'm doing the black girl magic thing, but I wish they would extend that kind of grace to black men as well. But from what the judge said, I really can't argue with what he said. I don't think she's a threat to the community.
Time nonviolent misdemeanor offender. Accordingly, it is the judgment and sentence of this court that you're sentenced in each of these cases to 6 months in the county jail. These sentences are consecutive with each other, and these sentences are suspended. You're placed on probation for 12 months, supervised probation. It's a condition of your probation that you pay full amount of restitution, which is $17,974.88 paid to the city of Hoover. I'm also sentencing you to serve, and this is a condition.
That $17,000 sounds pretty low. I hear you. I don't know how they came up with that number, but it sounds like it's pretty low. I just think they did maybe a 10% thing or something like that, because you know and I know and everybody knows that the amount of money they spent on this chick is a whole lot more than 17 grand. Yeah, come on, stop it. Let's stop.
Of your probation, 100 hours of community service. I understand that you're currently getting mental health counseling. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
It is a condition at this point of your probation that you continue getting mental health counseling, and I'd like to see some proof that you're getting that counseling when we come back.
All right, so let me stop it right there. That's the end. So I hope folks got a chance to see that part. Carlee Russell being sentenced, as rightfully so, um, to really a year probation. And hey, listen, I'm here. Anybody wants to come up, Almond Eyes, the link is in the chat if you wanted to come up. Hey, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate that. Hey, listen, I really wanted her to do jail time, but I think the judge was fair. The only thing I can say is I wish they would extend that kind of grace to black men. And they don't normally do that. But I think she should have still heard the hard, cold steel doors clang on her freedom for at least a night or two, for heaven's sakes. But what else can you really say? I mean, this thing had us all riveted around the country for a little while. It was some of us, like me, thought it was a hoax from the beginning with the little white baby on the side of the road, respecting the white line and not running into traffic, which was completely absurd. And so I'm glad that was debunked quickly. But the one sticking point with all of this stuff is how the hell did nobody force her, threaten her somehow to tell us exactly what the hell she was doing during the time when she was missing? And if she was doing something illegal, there's legal remedies for that. She could plead the fifth. That should be part of the record. Now, she shouldn't be forced to incriminate herself. I can dig that. But she at least needs to be made to put on a record that, Judge, Your Honor, I plead the fifth, my Fifth Amendment rights of self-incrimination, and then let the judge and the judicial system go from there and say, okay, well, we can't force you to say, if you were doing something illegal, we can't force you to tell us what it is if we don't find out on our own. And that's how the system's supposed to work. Now, if I was a judge, would I have used that against her in some way in terms of the penalty? I absolutely would have. Not that I wouldn't make it more than 6 months, but she would have spent a couple of nights in jail, maybe a weekend, a month, or whatever it is. But, hey, listen, man, we coddle our women, especially our black women. They get coddled like crazy. And, but, hey, somebody's got to get coddled in this world. It might as well be them, because it's damn sure happening. And I argue with my sister about that all the time, because when she starts playing that oppression card, I say, well, listen, let me stop you right there. You ain't oppressed, goddammit. Anyway, so I see you grooming what you said you was going to come up. Hey, listen, man, when just pop on when you can. I appreciate that. I don't know how long I'm going to be here. I just wanted to put this out. I've been waiting for this, by the way. I was wondering what happened to Carlee Russell. And I guess we found out. So I just need to know who feels. You can put it in the chat. Hey, listen, anybody who's here, hit my like button for me, please. Or take that, go to my community tab and take the poll. I got a lot of good stuff on my channel, I think, personally. And, I have a different philosophy than everybody else. I don't go live like this very often. I don't mind going on Black Man Unfiltered channel, being on panels like this. This is just my thing as a retired dude. I just have fun putting out my mental gymnastics in video and putting it up on my channel and seeing who likes to bite. I'm starting to get a few views here and there for some of the stuff that I say, which is cool. I appreciate that. This YouTube game is not First of all, it's not really a game, but some people they take it real seriously. So I need to know. Make some comments if you have. What do you think about this Carlee Russell decision? And for the next week or so, well, we're going to be hearing a lot about Carlee Russell on a lot of different channels and stuff like that, which is cool. At least it puts this chapter to bed. Uh, the sister, and here's the thing. Here's the one narrative that a lot of people don't really talk about. She comes from a pretty decent upper middle class two-family household. So we're not going to have at least the narrative, she's a single mother and all this other horse shit. No, her father was in her picture. She's a college graduate. She's a member of a sorority. She she didn't have just, I mean, I'm not going to say she had a silver spoon, but damn sure she wasn't eating off a paper plate. You know what I'm saying? So, so how do we account for a person who had not everything, but had all the stuff that they needed as a growing adult in a stable household, doing what she's done, right? That's what kind of makes it a little bit, I don't want to say egregious, but you can't ignore that. Why would she do something like this? Why is she getting away with not telling us where the hell she was and what she was actually doing? I really don't appreciate that part of the story. And now the sentencing is here and all that. Is she going to wait later on in life to write the book? Let me tell you what I was doing in the few days that I was missing and try to capitalize on the book. I don't think she's thinking about that now, but maybe 10 years from now, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, there's not really much more to say. So Grootman, I was kind of waiting for you. I don't know how long it's going to take you to get up here, but if you ain't coming up, we're planning if you ain't coming up. I may just end the live. It hasn't been that long, but I don't just want to talk into the ether about this situation anyway. I was just going to pretty much do what I'm doing and save it, maybe clip it up. That's okay. All right, man. Red Planet, what's going on, man? I'm gonna bring you up, man.
Hey, what's up? Am I up now? Okay.
Yeah, you up? What's going on, man? What's your thoughts?
I kind of feel like I don't know if she should go to jail for it, but like I said, it should be a penalty. She should have to pay, and she should be on probation.
She's on probation for a year.
The only reason I feel differently, to be honest with you, and people probably don't like me playing the race card, but when I see like Tariq Nasheed to talk about, you'll see other youths from other communities, from the dominant community, and they'll let them get away with murder, deletions and stuff, man.
Okay.
And I mean, what I'm saying? They let them get away with all kinds of crazy stuff, man. And I'm not saying she should get away with it, man. But when I feel like when they deal with us, man, they deal with us very harshly, which is why I'm surprised that she got off where she got off at, personally.
Well, listen, I did a video on this when it happened, and I thought she wouldn't get more than 6 months to a year in jail, if that. The thing that, like I said before, that I'm most upset about is the fact that she got away without telling us exactly what she was doing. You know what I'm saying? She still hasn't disclosed who she was with and what she was doing. That's my problem. Now, I wanted her to go to jail. I got to be honest with you, but not 6 months. No, listen, man.
I hear you.
If it was a black man, he would have been in jail. But here's a couple of things. Here's a couple of. Go ahead. Say what you're gonna say.
Well, I agree. They probably would be hard on a brother, but I don't feel that would be right neither. Like, I mean,
It's not about right or wrong.
It's a crazy
How is it
story.
right or wrong, bro? Tell me how they committed. She committed a crime.
I don't see a black male doing something like this. Like, so it's kind of weird. It's kind of.
That's not the point, man. It's a crime that has been committed. Let's just keep it with her then. She
Because
committed
this
crime.
my thing. This my thing. Okay, this my thing.
Okay.
All those cases of white women calling police on black men, making false. All them cases, they never get charged. They never get charged. They never. You know, they make false police statements and stuff, and they never get charged. Like, I mean, that's just real. Let's just keep it a buck. Let's just keep it a buck.
It never is not necessarily true. We just, it's not salacious enough to make the news. But I hear what you're saying, but this has nothing to do with that.
It's the same legal system, though. That's all I'm saying.
No.
It's the same legal system.
Okay, let me put it to you this way.
White and I say so laws.
Yeah, well, hold on for a second, boss.
Yeah.
Let me put it to you this way. When was the last time you saw the whole nation mobilize to try to find a black woman?
Never.
Okay, so that precedent was set with her, right? I mean, the nation was riveted. Where's the black woman with the little white baby running around the side? You know, running up the goddamn.
That's wild. That's wild.
Maybe it was the white baby thought that made it a big national news. Where's the white baby? You know, where's the white baby? That shit was crazy. Okay, the second part of this, and I said this too, is that, you know, when a lot of us like to go ahead and say, oh, she's from a single mother parent. Not her. She was from I hate to say well-to-do, a middle class, a firmly middle class family. Her husband in the house, even though he was a wimp. You know, big boisterous ass black mother, right? And in a two-family household, she's a college graduate, and she's a member of a sorority. Right? So she's not like she's not the typical black chick. What the hell made her do this thing? Some Johnson from a dude? I don't know. We don't know. I want to. That's my problem.
I guess it's some kind of emotional issue or something that made her, you know. And I ain't saying she's supposed to get scot-free, man. I mean, you know, if you put this girl in jail, man, like you've seen on YouTube the prison stories, man. I mean, I wouldn't wish that.
Prison. She's gonna go to some local place where you go.
And ain't no telling, man. So you think she wouldn't be nowhere where she would be completely in with the real lunatics or whatever?
No. She would have been in like a local place where she would have been under some kind of surveillance all the time. They're not gonna let nothing happen to her. And not only
definitely
that,
house arrest. Like house arrest would be something more, you know.
Even with that, yeah. But
house arrest. Yeah, I can see house arrest more, at least in my opinion, you know.
Well, okay, no, I'm not trying to go against your opinion because obviously the judge agrees with you. The judge agrees with you. You saw did you see the video?
Yeah, I did see it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the judge agrees that she shouldn't have any kind of harsh punishment, right? But he wants to at least put something on her record. But I still can't get over the fact that she's getting away without telling the whole story. Usually, when you have to adjudicate, you have to tell everything. Who was you with? What was you doing? You know, and all of that.
What do you think happened? I mean, I'm seriously, I'm not being smart. I'm really curious. Do you think she was with another guy or something, or what? What the hell?
Let me tell you, man.
What was it about?
You don't think she was with somebody busting those cheeks?
That's what I would imagine. Yeah.
No, but she's shielding somebody. She's doing something, but she could have been. Let's just say she was doing something illegal. Let's start there. Well, she has a right to plead the fifth, right? She can't get up there and say, "Well, you know, Your Honor, I was selling heroin on the side, and I just needed a few days so I can." She can't be compelled to do that. You know, so that's one thing. So at least the pleading the fifth would be on record. Now, if she was just with a dude, she's protecting his name.
Mm.
She's protecting somebody, right? And so I think there's some limits to the law to say, well, if you don't tell us who you were with and what you were doing, we're going to make your misdemeanor a felony. I think the law can't do that.
Man, you tough for a crime, man.
No. What I'm saying is, I'm telling you, I don't think the law could do that. Right? I don't think the law could stretch that way. But they could be, but I think they could at least take that into account with her sentencing under a misdemeanor law. Like, for example, the judge commuted to 6 months to 1 year probation where she could go home, right? I would have said, you're going to do at least 3 months because you ain't telling us what you're doing. And then I'll commute the other 3 months, but your ass is going to jail unless you decide, I don't know if the judge could do this either, unless you decide to give us full disclosure. You know, I think that might be fair. I don't see how that's unfair. How's she gonna get away with not telling us where she was? That's the only thing we care about now. What the fuck was you doing? Right? I mean, think about it, Mark. Don't you want to know what she was doing?
I guess the judge didn't care. I guess, man. I don't know.
But the prosecutor, goddamn sure did.
Right? Yeah.
You know, so all I'm just trying to say is somehow that should be factored into her sentence. I think. So she's getting away scot-free. I held a secret. You know, there's some guy out there who made me do something stupid, you know, and, you know, now I can ruminate on the 3 days he was busting those cheeks or whatever the hell he was doing. And whatever the hell she was doing. And, you know, maybe 1 year probation was worth it. You know what I'm saying? I got my memory now. You know, but I'm just going to trip it out. But I think she's got off a little light. I do think she got off a little light.
I think they could have did house arrest, man. Putting it in a prison with a bunch of felons, and I mean, I wouldn't want to see.
You kind of soft on crime, there, man. I think you soft on that. Come on, man.
You know what it is, man. You know, this is my opinion, man. I know what it feels like to deal with racism, not like the racism that my mom talked about with Jim Crow and all.
Okay.
But you know, and that like the manosphere tends to be center right. I tend to be right leaning too. But it's you know, I even spent some times with a certain political party, and you know, man, I don't feel like we shouldn't have to down our own. Not saying you're downing our own people, but we don't have to down our own people to have conservative type views or look at a certain way. Like it seems like everything about being on that side is you have to like dump on black folks, and I've never been a fan of that. And I was with that certain political party, and they wanted me to actually run for office. You know, believe it or not, even though I put on the baseball hat and that type of aesthetic, but you know, I don't always do that.
But so let me ask you a question then. So what you're trying to say is, listen, I don't believe this has anything to do with race. It really doesn't. I really don't. I think black people tend to make everything black into, hey, grooming, what's going on? I'm gonna bring you up right now. Home for a second. Man, if I can find my cursor. Hey, what's going on, grooming? Hey, listen, man, I got Mars here. He's been on Black Man Unfiltered every so often. This is Grooming and Reviews over here. This, Mars.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's going on, brother? How are you, man?
Yes. So let me just finish. I think we should kind of stray away from making this thing a racial issue. I don't see why.
I'm not saying it's a racial issue because she wasn't treated as harshly as she could have. But what I'm saying is this. When you see all these Karens and stuff calling the police, making false charges, I don't ever hear about them getting charged. Like, we have to throw the book at her for making a false charge. Whenever it's a black person, they're gonna make an example out of you, and that's fine if you're gonna apply the same laws the same way across the board. That's fine, but that's not how it is. When they call in, or there's those Karen situations that were going on across the country, I haven't heard anything about. Oh well, they made false police charges, and we have to. That's against they wasted police resources. I don't hear none of that. That's okay.
But that's the
where I'm
problem.
at.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
The problem is they make this false bullshit claims on people. It doesn't matter what color or race or what you are, because they're Karens. They think they're better than the goddamn fucking world, and they get away with it.
Now, Carlee Russell, okay, if house arrest, I don't think this is a matter where, you got to put it in with a bunch of felons and all this. I would even want the Karen women that do that. I wouldn't even say put them in with a bunch of felons or nothing, but say, hey, anybody that's making a false charge, there's some kind of punishment. Don't do it again. Don't do it anymore. I'm not saying throw from the Karens or Carlee Russell. I'm not saying put them in with a bunch of crazy. You hear them prison stories, man. They be crazy, man. I don't think you have to do that, but you can punish them.
Okay, so but like I said, I think there's a difference between a local prison and a prison you talk about, federal prison. But let's just say, to me, she is getting a life sentence. But I think we need to separate things because it's different jurisdictions and all that kind of stuff.
True.
But so as far as when we start to bring in what happened to Sally and what's happening to Carlee is not consistent, I think that muddies the waters. I think every case should be taken upon itself. It's not like no Karen has never been punished. With those stories out here, I swear I don't hear anything about. They gave her such and such. Okay, listen. How about the white woman who just killed the African brother? Right? They gave her a lot of.
She's finally getting charged, I think. Right?
Okay, she's finally getting charged. The justice was slow, but it's coming. And what about the white couple, the parents the mother got sentenced to jail for the atrocities that her son committed because they were reckless in the house. Those people were white, right? This the first that was the first precedent-setting case where a parent is going to jail because her son shot up a school or wherever the hell he shot up, right? Okay. So so it's not. We gotta move. Yeah, you're right. Is it imbalanced depending on where you are and depending on the case? I agree with you. But before you go, Groomer, you got anything else on this thing before we go any further?
No, let's go. Let's move on forward.
Okay. So like I said, 6 months ago, or during July, when this came out, I thought she should have got 6 months to a year in jail. So the fact that she actually got a 6-month sentence that was commuted to probation. So I feel vindicated because I was right. She should have got some time. And the judge was being lenient. The judge was being really, and I agree with the judge. She committed a misdemeanor first offense from I hate to say affluent, but from a middle class family. I think they treated her just as if they would have treated any white person. I think so.
I believe it was fair. Like I said, it could have been house arrest. But I think this is a misguided young lady, at least in my opinion. And she made a mistake. I don't think it's the end of the world. I don't think if she lied about this situation, no one died, no one got deleted off of this. So no one. It doesn't make it right, but there should be a punishment, and there's a punishment, and I don't think you put her in like a real prison and make her a felony or something.
But the local prison is not a real prison, kind of like this is just for short-term shit. And I'm not saying she should have did 3 months. She should at least felt those goddamn bars close in on her, and just so she could be trapped for. Listen, they put Paris Hilton's ass in jail.
They did?
Yeah, man. She kept getting DUIs. And the
but
judge
that's what I'm saying. For your DUI.
Hold on.
Okay, my bad. Go ahead.
She did jail time. She actually took a rich Paris Hilton ass and put her in jail for. They had to have protective custody, of course, but they put her in jail for. I think it was like 2 or 9. She almost went apeshit crazy.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because if you think about a woman who had the whole world's her oyster, right? When they put her in that 8x8 cell with no window and that door closed, She was scared straight like a mother. When's the last time you heard her do something stupid after that?
But that, like I say, that's a DUI though. I mean, that's a
It
very
has nothing to do with it. She got jail time. How many people you know get jail time for DUIs?
Yeah, you can. It depends on the situation, right?
Okay, but the point
Is there
is, you're
discretion
bringing
on
it
that,
to
isn't it?
crime. Okay, she's a billionaire. How many billionaires get jail time for anything?
Yeah.
All right, so the law took this white woman doing sex tapes and all that shit, and they put her in jail for a few days because they said enough is enough. You need to taste the cold steel of metal closing your ass into a box. And when they did that, we haven't heard shit from her since. She got scared straight.
But
And
Payne, you know
now
where she
she's
is
an
now?
heiress, huh?
You know where she is?
What? She's an heiress of a fortune. She
But
married
you
to
know
a
where?
Rothschild.
No. I didn't ask you that. I said you know where she is right now. I can tell you where she is.
I don't know where she is, but I think
in
she's
Greece.
married to a Rothschild.
She's in Greece.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, the reason I know because she's opened one of the biggest, expensive resorts in Crete, in one of the islands in my country. And here's the thing: they have her on a very tight leash. When she came to get there, they told her, "You fuck up even a hair inch. If you sneeze the wrong way, you're going to jail." They told her that when they came there.
Yeah, but she's married now with babies, or at least a kid.
Maybe that's straightening her out.
I think she married a Rothschild. We're talking about old money. We're talking about money that you know they got so much money they don't have to spend money no more. You know. So anyway, listen, if they could put an ass like her in jail, none of us are safe. You know, so all I'm just trying to say is, man, like I said, I'd like to see judge. I'd like to see punishment meted out fairly, right? And I'm really not so upset with the judge's ruling. So I'm like kind of with you, you know, Mars. I don't.
Yeah.
I just don't like the fact that she got away without telling us the full story. I think that is where privilege comes in. You know, and if it was a black man, would the judge have been that fair? I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. You know, black women get coddled in this world.
That may be actually true. Yeah, that might be true.
Let me tell you, if you talk to my sister, she would tell me I'm crazy, right? I said, y'all get coddled like a motherfucker, man. They're like big toddlers and shit. You know, so it depends on your worldview. It depends on your prism you're looking through. I think that black women think they're so oppressed. I think that's bullshit. I really do. You know, so but and you know what? I really don't have any problem with that because women feel entitled in general. Black, white, Chinese, Hispanic, they feel entitled. Well, maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. You know, who knows? You know, so you know, and maybe that's why they're so mad at men because we always take them out of the goddamn clouds. It's the clouds, and we pull their asses down. And they say, "Come on, man, leave me in the cloud, goddamn it," you know.
Did you see? I don't know if I can say this one thing. I don't know if you want me to stay purely on topic. I just want to ask you a question, if you don't mind.
Yeah, as long as I don't get kicked off of YouTube for it, man.
No, I'm not saying that bad. Did you see the video of? I think the woman is like 60 or something. Really old. She's an older woman talking about she wants a millionaire. Like she wants a millionaire on Kendra G shows. I think.
You know, listen. You know what? I stopped watching Kendra G. You know, not because of her, because she doesn't paint black women in a good light. Because the kind of women who come on her show are not. I don't even know if they're the average woman. I really don't. It's not like the data that she's collecting by those kind of women who come on her show weren't equivalent or as diverse as the women who used to come on Kevin Samuel's show. When Kevin Samuel was doing his show, he had women across the spectrum, from women who were, you know, baby mamas to women who were executives.
That's true.
So you got a fair look at the way women thought across the diaspora. On Kendra G's show, it's usually like the least of these. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
The women who come on her show, man. Yeah, I got 17 kids by 25 different men. And I want a guy, you know, I'm saying, come on. I can't watch her show. You know,
I think she's getting tired of it a little bit of stuff. She's kind of getting like Kevin a little bit, you know, just a little bit. She still has more patience for
she's
him.
starting to realize, you know, but her clientele was nowhere near as the women that come on her show are just nowhere near the kind of caliber of ladies that used to come on Kevin Shamler's show. Nowhere near. You know, so even though if something was similar, he used to get some pretty successful women on his show. Even though some of them might still say some of the same stuff, you at least get a flavor of across the class divide. On Kendra G's show, you very rarely get above the lower class.
Yeah,
you know, so I can't watch.
It's wild. It's wild, man.
Hey, Grooman, you still there? What's going on, man? What you got, man?
I'm here. It's a lot. You go back and forth with this. This is difficult one because you can piss a lot of people off with this conversation.
Well, if we say, I mean, from your perspective, I want to say on the outside looking in. You know, what kind? Do you agree with the verdict, not the verdict, but the sentencing for Carlee Russell? Do you think she should have got more time or some time? What do you think?
I don't agree with the justice system here at all. I think it's one person has way too much power and you can destroy your life like that. I think it should be 3 judges.
Okay.
All 3 of them discuss it and make it a fair agreement because one of them is going to look at it a different one, like, whoa, for his first offense is maybe too harsh, or second offense, or whatever the case is.
Is it 3 justice system in Greece?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why I agree with that better. Because 3 judges, you know, maybe do like a man, woman, and man, or whatever. I don't know how to split it up. I'm not in the justice system, of course.
Okay.
But I do agree with the adjustment system because it is a better system like that. Because somebody's going to see the light eventually. You know, like you can't pay all 3 of them out. One guy you can't pay out 3, not all 3. Okay. Somebody's going to say, "Hang on a second here. Let's talk about this. Let's throw the book at her. No. Let's actually talk about this for a minute." Maybe one of them will be common sense, saying, "Listen, maybe she did it. Let's say this is for argument she did a crime, but instead of giving her life sentence, let's give her only 10 years with parole and house arrest or something." Like, I'm not judging it. I'm just throwing things out there.
Right.
Maybe more control, more better. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but do y'all have jury trials at all
in Greece?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so is it still 3 judges with a jury?
Yep.
Okay.
I feel it's more fair like that. Again, that's a personal opinion. And you might sit here and argue with me and say, no. You know what? I think one judge is fair, a jury system is fair. That's fine. You have your opinion. I don't have to agree with your opinion.
No, I don't have any opinion one way. I think that's interesting. I didn't know that. That's something new. That's something that I don't think a lot of people knew that.
From my understanding, a lot of European countries are running the 3 justice system because it is more fair. Because again, you have all 3 judges. One of them are going to argue, and if they're a big case, they're 5. If it's like a serious big case, let's say murder, like again, I might piss people off saying this, like the OJ trial, for example, that was a very hot topic back then, right? It'll be 5 judges. Like, okay, this is serious. Again, that's how I feel about it.
You know what I mean? That's interesting. I mean, for this case, would have never been more than 3 judges.
Of course not.
And like I said, I still don't really have a big issue with the sentencing. I just have an issue that the DA wasn't able to extract the full information from her. I think that if it was a criminal activity she was doing, she should have at least been forced to plead the 5th on the stand, because that's her constitutional right. But at least the 5th gets put into the record, and you can use that one way or the other. I mean, you can't really make a determination on what it is, but you know she has something that she's hiding, and it's been put on record, and you do with that as you will. And that's where a 3-judge system might have came in and say, listen, you know what? Trey Ferg, let me you know, the judge Trey, the judge one judge might have said, listen, she doesn't need to tell us. Another judge might have said, hey, I'm curious. And then the third judge might have said, listen, I'm not giving her an easy sentence till I find out whether she's going to adjudicate or plead the fifth. So I would have liked that, because I think she should have been forced to tell us what she was doing. Hey, Trey Ferg, what's happening?
What's up, fellas? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got Mars here and then grooming. How you doing, man? What's your take? What's your take on this thing?
I mean, you know, I agree. She got the time that she deserves. You know, I think it's a little bit deeper than what's going on with her that they revealed. She probably had to do some psychiatric treatment or something just to, you know, to find out a little bit more. Also, you know, she fell into the trap. To me.
When you say trap, what do you mean by that?
A lot of women have been yelling foul ball for a while. They've been out there screaming, trying to get that type of attention. She came up with her elaborate scheme, but she didn't think about the parties that have to get involved with that. So they pretty much just put the tab on her that it would take for the resources that they charge for those community stakeholders, the ambulance, the search teams, the dogs. You pay for all that. Come find out that it's false too. All that's on your tab. So she's indebted to the state.
You think that 17,000 is enough? They had to pay more than that.
It is what it is, you know. But how long it take for them to figure it out? Like a day or two, a couple of days.
No, they've been. How long did they search for? Like a week, or before she walked down there? Was it?
Oh, okay. Well,
she got about a week and a half or 2 weeks. 2 weeks or something. 3 weeks.
She got off good. She got off good. I mean.
That 17 grand is a discount, man. They had to spend at least $100,000.
But you know, hey, she better walk on thin ice for at least the next 15, 20 years. She better not even have a name come up. I mean, her name better not even come up on. She better not get put over for a traffic light. You know, because then they'll be able to come back. So.
We're sure about that. I'm sure she's not going to do anything like that. Hey, listen, all you guys here, if y'all can do me a favor and hit that like button for me, I appreciate it when y'all get a chance. But you know, and the other thing is, I have a community tab that has a survey, a poll on it. It'd be nice if y'all just answer the poll for questions. You don't have to do it now, but you know, if you're going to hook me up, I'm trying to get some.
Where's the poll there, okay?
On the community tab. On a community tab.
Okay.
On my channel is a community tab. The polls there.
All right, okay.
Well, you don't have to do it now, but it's just, you know, just there. Other than that, man, I'm just, you know, it's funny. It was impromptu. I saw this, or this thing came up on my Twitter feed, and I saw this. I said, oh, you know what? Oh no, my TikTok feed. I said, well, why don't you, I said, let me just go ahead and talk about it, because I wanted to say something to it, because it puts a close to me thinking about this case from back in July. And so I just wanted to come up, and I just sent out an invitation to some folks. I didn't know anybody was going to come up, and I'm glad you guys did, man, because that makes everything better, and you have some different opinions, you know.
I told you before, we support you, you support us. We're all one big unconventional fucked up family.
Yeah, you know, my man Mars has some things going on in his channel. I'm trying to get him to use either OBS or StreamYard. He don't want to do it.
I'm still learning, man. I'm still trying to figure it all out.
You gotta jump.
I'm not a tech guy.
My man. Hit me up on the side. Look me on Green Reviews 101, and I'll help you out with OBS.
Oh, cool, man. Cool. I appreciate it.
It's OBS free, right? Is OBS free? Okay.
And you have a lot more creativity with OBS versus StreamYard. StreamYard, you're kind of, they tell you how to do everything. It's like, that's why it's not buggy as much. But if you pass a buggy stage and do OBS, your limitations, your imagination. You can do anything. I can even have strippers ringing down during the stream if I wanted to. Yeah, you can do anything.
You know, it's my funny. I just, like I said, you know what though, Mars. Let me tell you, man. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I just do it. I just throw some shit out there. I even did the vertical live. I fooled around with that a little bit. I know that's coming, and I just move, man. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'll put a video first saying, listen, Don't laugh at me. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I'm doing it anyway. You know,
I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah. So that's it.
I did put it in the chat. I did put in the chat that, you know, pretty much when you're dealing with the law, it's for the most part it's about race, because you have two sides of the law. There's a leniency of the law and there's the enforcement. The leniency, you're going to get a little fine, get some probation, you'll be home by 5. The enforcement, you're going to pay a fine, you're going to do some time, you're going to do some probation, you're going to do everything that's under that stipulation of that particular law. And, you know, you can see it all over, especially on the, I would say, the lower end of society. Most of them are pushed into the enforcement of the law. They pay a fine, they go to jail, they do a plea deal. Okay, instead of doing 10, you do 5. So you're still doing jail time, you're still spending all your money on attorneys, because they already make these deals out on the golf course. They already know what they're doing when you go to court. That's why they always say, you want to take a plea deal? Because they done already talked about it before. So they're going to take your money, you're going to pay your attorney, mortgage your house, pay the attorney. Still going to do 3-5 years. Your grandmama and them got to come make a damn family day of it, drive fucking 10 hours and get a hotel and, you know, and put some money on your book. So it just creates a whole nasty life, for real. I got a nephew, he got 8 years fed time.
Yo, listen, I got a family member doing life, man. I got a couple of
birthday.
What did he do, if you don't mind saying?
Man, okay, so let me give you a little backstory.
You don't have to go into the details, but you know.
No. I have to use his backstory because I tried to help him. He's my nephew.
Okay.
Good football player, could play the hell out some ball. A little talented, had a little rap.
Okay.
So allegedly in high school, he found a gun and took it into a basketball game. But again, okay, so he got out of that. They sent him to the alternative school where, of course, he passed with all A's so he can come back for his senior year in high school. Graduated, A, B, honor roll, never missed, and he don't miss days out of school, in school every day. So I told my sister, I said, look, I can make some contacts. Since he had the little bad incident, most schools ain't gonna want to deal with him. I said, but look, he can go play at the West Point. He can go play football, still do what he want to do. I want to see what his rap career do. Okay. So in the meantime, he done went out to Fort Knox, Kentucky, in Radcliffe. Now, when you get around a military base, not only do you have the military police, you got the state police, the federal police, the local police. Everybody's working together. So they're trying to buy some drugs. So of course he tried to run. And they caught up with him, and they threw a bunch of charges on him, which he was guilty of. And shit, they're like, okay, you doing fair time. You ain't doing state time. And
well, you know, I mean, but so he didn't learn nothing.
No, he ain't learned nothing. You see what I'm saying? He didn't learn shit. His birthday is May 24th. He was locked up March, 2 months before his 21st birthday.
Jeez. You know, I mean.
And guess what? I don't write. I don't send letters. I don't send care packages. I don't do none of this shit.
Yeah, man. I mean, the disappointment is unbelievable. Because especially when it's not warranted. I mean, because you can't even use a desperation excuse. You know, I mean, some guys and some gals are just drawn to dumb shit. You know, it's as simple as that. I mean, and if you have a family that's big enough, everybody has a story.
Yeah.
If you have a family that's big enough, everybody has a story.
He's the first one out of all of my relatives and family. He's the first one to ever go to jail or prison for anything similar. The first one.
Well, I tell you what, man. I wish I could say first one. I got a few in a big family's tree. I have a few. One doing life, and another one getting. I think he's in for a long bid too. I mean, it's a couple in and out of jail, so. It just depends on where you are. I'm in New York City, Queens, Brooklyn, everywhere. So it's just almost impossible to keep people out of trouble who want to be in trouble, because most of the people in my family, we all had the same opportunity. Some people did it and took it, some people didn't, and there's nothing you could do about it. Well, anyway, so, but hey, gentlemen, I if we have any parting, shots on this case, Mars, you got any parting thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I feel like, man, she might be a nice girl, or girl just misguided, had a little issues. You know what I'm saying? I don't think your whole life should be thrown away just for a little mistake. You know what I mean? They punished her. They gave her some punishment. Hopefully she doesn't do something stupid like this again, and she can move on with her life and just keep it pushing. Keep it pushing this time. And not get caught up in. I don't know if it was it was behind some dude or whatever it was, but hopefully she don't get caught up anymore. She dodged the bullet. Hopefully she learned. Like you say, learn from the situation.
I agree with you. I think there was a dude involved a little bit, but I mean, if I had to, but grooming, what you got?
It hits me a sore spot personally because this guy, I've been got in trouble with something I didn't do because somebody knew the judge, my ex, and I got the book thrown at me. Thank God I didn't hard time, but sometimes you don't do anything, you get in trouble. That's why I have a hard time swallowing this pill and listen to this conversation. It's home for me because ever since that time, my life has been downhill, and I have to go uphill, and I'm okay fighting backhill.
Okay.
But even cops I personally know in New Jersey and in New York, outside my state, they said, you got fucked, dude, because you got hit way too fucking hard.
How long ago was this? This
was early 2010s.
Was that in this country or in the old country?
It was here. It was in it was in my state, in this state. I was like 24, 25 when I did it. I got hit with 18 months probation with 6 months anger management courses for something I did not do. They looked at me and go, you got screwed. And that's going to stay on my record till I'm 45 in my state, in PA. And that's my other issue. Why do we have states laws? Why are they not universal across every state? It doesn't matter if I'm going to Texas. I know I'm pissing people off by saying this. Let's be straight up here. Let's be honest. It's not going to happen because goddamn politicians make way too much fucking money and let us fucking get screwed.
You know what? So think about it, grooming. The United States has 50 states, correct? Yeah. And the thing that holds us together is the fact that at some point we're supposed to all be Americans who are citizens. However, if you look at the mentality of people on the East Coast, Midwest, and the West Coast, we don't think the same.
Oh, absolutely not.
We're not. We might. Some of us might as well be from foreign countries or the South, the way we relate to each other. So, I think the states have to be there with separate laws for the kind of people that they have in each particular states. It's frustrating, but I understand.
I disagree.
You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying. I'm not saying you need to change your mind, but
no, we're getting disagree. You're like, we both know I'm a better looking guy than you. We're still friends after the end of the day. Like, it doesn't matter.
Let them know, bro. Let them know.
Listen,
yeah. I'm growing my biz. Compete with you. I'm growing my biz. I can compete with you somehow. Grooving. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, this is work. It doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah, I hear you.
Wasn't done in a day. You know the old saying, grease wasn't built in a day? I know. I like my version better. I don't argue with me. My man is as it means it.
I'm not gonna say anything. Yeah.
So
anything else on it? Anything else?
No, that's how I have, dude. Like, I just don't agree with it. I don't agree with the way how our justice runs. Simple as that.
That's cool. I can dig it. Hey, Ferg, what you got, man?
I mean, listen, I can say this despite what she did. In 2023, it was the lowest crime rate in the last 50 years. It was down 30% across America. So things are appearing to look better. So if you're young, don't make dumbass decisions that will affect everyone outside of yourself. You want to do shit that affects yourself, keep it to yourself, do it by yourself. Other than that, man, just be better, make better decisions. Our decision making is fucking based off our feelings, and that's always going to get you in a bad spot in life. So start to think better, do better, treat people better, treat yourself better, treat the world better. Shit'll work out for you. Other than that, man, your ass gonna go to jail and you're gonna spend a lot of time in behind bars. And you're gonna talk about what you shoulda, coulda, woulda when you're 40 years old, trying to start your life over. And you will be aged out. Your ass will be poor walking the streets. Unless you invent something that can change the world. It's a new day in order, folks. Obey the fucking law. That's all I got, man.
I got you. Hey, listen, man. Like I said, I said my piece already. I think the judge was fair, even though I wish she would have did some jail time. But I can understand why she didn't. I think the biggest egregious part is that she wasn't made to disclose what the hell she was doing during those times she was missing. And I think that should have been part of her sentence in one way, shape, form, or fashion. She should be on record refusing to speak about it and pleading the fifth. It was a criminal activity, or she should have told us what she was doing. And I don't think the guy I think she was getting her cheeks busted by somebody, and she didn't want anybody to know, boyfriend or somebody else like that. And but what else would she be doing? You know, what else would she be doing? I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, you know, and maybe, you know, I'm being kind of narrow-minded, but I think that women do a lot of dumb shit for men. They just do. You know, everybody knows it. And I think this might be a case for that. But anyhow, but that's it. I think I'm glad this chapter is over. I think she's probably glad it's over too. I think her father's a wimp. And based on me seeing him on that video, and that's too bad because too many black men acquiesce to their black women. I'd have told my wife to shut the hell up, and I would have been mad at her myself. But I think it all worked out for the family. And the one more thing, last thing, I'm glad that the narrative isn't that she's from a single mother and all this other horse shit that we always like to talk about. She was from an otherwise well-to-do family, and she's still fucked up. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Hey, gentlemen, thanks for showing up. I appreciate anybody who was in the chat. I appreciate it. Hit that like button. Go take that survey on my community tab if you don't mind. Hit the poll. It's just only 4 questions, and I appreciate it. Okay, Mars, we'll talk to you, man. We'll talk to you, grooming. We'll talk to you first.
Later, guys.
See you later on, brother.
See you guys on my stream later, okay?
Yep, you got it.